Imagine a series that is not only very important to a certain video game genre, but it also has a unique style within that said genre as well. However, that series is being trashed by the smartest people alive, game journalists. So when the next generation of consoles were coming out, it was time to shake things up. That's how pretty much Dynasty Warriors 6 came to be. This fifth entry of True Three Kingdoms Unrivaled was meant to prove that journalists deserve this status of third-class citizenship and that Omega Force and Koei were not engaging in AAA industry type of bullshit. As a result, things such as character designs, leveling progression, and most notably the combat system were changed. And if you ask any Dynasty Warriors fan what they think of it, there's a very high chance that in their eyes it's the black sheep of this series. That is until Koei Tecmo decided to jump on the open world trend and release the Dynasty Warriors 9, which became a reminder to the fans that it can always get worse. The story is based on some romance novel about some shit that happened in China years ago. To put it simply, during the 2nd century, the imperial court of Han Dynasty was corrupt, and some magical Muslim man by the name of Zhang Xiao has convinced many people to rebel and wear yellow scarves. The Han Dynasty wanted them to fuck off, so they asked every province to deal with their shit talking and rampaging against infidels. After they were dealt with, shit did not get better, and on top of that, China was being ruled by a fat ugly piece of shit named Dong Zhuo. So Yuan Shao and others went on a campaign to get rid of that fat ass. I'm not going to bore you with too much detail. All you need to know is that there are 3 kingdoms and all of them want to rule China. There's also a huge bias for Shu Kingdom due to the fact that the author of the romance novel was a Shu simp. So if you feel like Shu is getting the Miles Morales treatment, now you know why. The main part of this game is the Muso mode, while stuff like Free Mode, Challenge Mode, Encyclopedia and Camp are extra things no one besides hardcore Muso fans care about. At the start you'll have 9 characters, but as you complete Muso mode for each character, you'll unlock more characters until you have all 41 of them. But only 17 have their own stories, and the reason is most of the characters have clone movesets. So if you have a favorite character and they don't have a Muso mode, then they are a fucking clone. Not to mention 7 characters have been removed, including the best waifu of Dynasty Warriors, Xin Tsai. At least she gets a mention in one of the stories, because Koei cares very much when it comes to giving you a middle finger. Anyway, you have 6 stages to complete a Muso mode instead of regular 5 stages. You get a briefing that tells you the context of the battle, and you also get a CGI cutscene that's meant to show off personalities of these characters. But that's not why you play Dynasty Warriors. Before the battle starts, you're in a preparation screen. Here you can change your weapon, change your horse, and see your skill tree. You're also able to see what your conditions are to ensure your victory or demise. The game also gives you side goals to complete, and they are a good addition to the game because it gives you challenge and also rewards you with XP. There's also a way to check positions of your character, allies, and enemies. And also you get an overview, but it's as equally important as Bread 2 video essay. Once you're prepared, it's time to fight. I'm sure you have noticed that this is like Sengoku Basara, but Dynasty Warriors came before it. And also it has one unique thing that sets it apart from Basara, and that is the strategy element. The game plays like an RTS, except you control one soldier and you have to do stuff like saving your allies, conquering bases, and fighting through tons of bullshit. On the top of the map you see a bar that is your army's morale, as well as enemies' morale. If your army's morale is high, you'll have much more easier time killing your prey. But if it's the opposite, you'll have to become a one-man army. But let's talk about the main thing that was changed in this game, the combat system. In previous Dynasty Warriors games, you had normal attacks and strong attacks. You were also able to combine normal attacks with strong attacks, but there was criticism from journos who claimed the combat didn't offer too much depth and it was much more easier to spam normal attack over and over again. So Omega Force introduced Renbu system that rewards players who press the same attack button over and over again and punishes those who expect a good moveset. This combat system is so fantastic, it reminds me of how FromSoft bought into the skill issue meme and the rolling meme. Despite this game not having fantastic movesets, it's still a game that I can play and not get bored, Some people may call it a Stockholm Syndrome. I personally prefer a regular Musou addiction. The strategy elements will hook you in, and the fact that you can cut through people like grass makes it very addictive. There are also RPG elements in the game, but I don't care to explain them, because every game has RPG elements nowadays, so it will be as equally pointless as debating which candidate won the debate when we already know the true winner.
Also, I took down Lugo on my 3rd try, so suck it, you fucking pussy.
Graphics are really good, even if it isn't the best looking 7th gen console game. Music is the best part of this game, and it's also the last memorable music Masa created, since after 6, he just stopped making memorable songs. The acting is campy, and on one hand people should demand better voice acting, on the other hand it can be actually quite funny. Also, I hate voice actors. Oh, and if you're a weeb who's into tranime, sorry to say, but there's really no way to change voice acting to Japanese. Sound design is fine, but I don't really care that much. Dynasty Warriors 6 is okay, I guess. I prefer other Dynasty Warriors games over this one, but it's still better than 9, so there's that. The only way I can recommend this game is if you're curious and or a huge fan of Dynasty Warriors who needs to play everything from this series. But otherwise, just play the classic Dynasty Warriors games if you feel like being a part of a war, or the modern titles if you want to feel like a badass warrior who can take down everything with ease. But to give credit to Omega Force and Koei, it's at least an admirable attempt to show that game journalists don't know what the fuck they're talking about. By the way, if you're wondering what I think of Dynasty Warriors Origins, to put it simply, I don't have high hopes. Got to go get some rest.
China, they say, rashness brings success to few.
In China, they say.
各位观众朋友们，大家好，我是由新华社和搜狗公司联合培育的 AI 合成